With me now is Sabertooth Retro, and he is going to talk about Club VCS, part of atari.io. How are you tonight?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Good. Nice to actually talk to you here.
Yeah, nice to talk to you. Thanks for having me on.
Sure, no problem. You had an interesting idea that you had put into the Atari VCS official Atari VCS Discord, which is just another reason for people to join that if they haven't already. And I thought it would be a good idea to get you on the podcast here so you could explain exactly what it is that's going on for everybody and how that they can participate and join. So what are we looking at here?
Sure. So right now what you've got up is the atari.io forums. And for those of you who aren't familiar, atari.io was launched sometime around 2014. I've been on there at least since launch or shortly after launch. And it is a forum for Atari fans to connect and talk about Atari. The structure will be familiar to people who maybe are members of Atari Age, but it's a much smaller forum, much tighter community. And I think that when you look at the overall topics, it's really a celebration of all things kind of retro from that 80s, 70s era. It doesn't stick just to gaming. There are dedicated threads and subforums for music, for example, or for television or movies. So it's really Atari focused, but then also that 80s, 70s niche that a lot of us grew up in.
Sure. Awesome. So not hard for anybody to sign up. Basically, just hit the sign up button, and yeah, you don't need to have an Atari VCS to participate in the Atari VCS club, right?
No, so Club VCS that's a great question. Club VCS is a forum within a forum. And so it's a new feature to atari.io, the clubs. Right now there are two clubs. There's a beer drinking club and there's a VCS club. So if you like beer or you like the VCS, there's a home for you in the club section of atari.io. But this was just stood up within the last month or so. And Club VCS is a place for fans and VCS curious folks to come and get information about the VCS. And so there's no requirement to have a VCS to be a VCS owner in order to sign up for the club. But to participate in the challenges, and I think we'll get to the challenge later, you do have to have a VCS because we're playing on real hardware.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So is there anything else you want to say about Atari IO in general, or are we okay to move on to the challenge?
Yeah, just atari.io in general. Again, I think it's a great community, tight-knit, and I encourage people who are interested in Atari and retro gaming platforms or retro life in general to go ahead and give it a look, even if you're not interested in the VCS.
Sure. Awesome. So the first challenge that you guys have issued is with Missile Command Recharged. Now, Missile Command Recharged is also a mobile game, but and I think it might actually be on Steam as well, but this is specific to the VCS, correct?
Right. So this is specific to the VCS, and I think all of our challenges are going to be specific, not only to games that are available on the VCS, but to VCS players.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm just trying to have all angles covered.
Sure.
But a reach like on a VCS PC mode wouldn't then qualify. It has to be Atari OS then, correct?
Right. You're going to need to be playing an Atari.iOS or Atari.iOS, Atari OS. Okay. And the reason for that is because, the different control schema that are available on different platforms, right? On Steam, you might have functioning mouse control, for example, where you can use a trackpad or a mouse, and that would give you an advantage over native Atari VCS players.
Got it.
On mobile or the Switch, you're going to have touchscreen. That's a different kind of approach, and it's a strategic element that might give you an advantage or disadvantage. And so we want to level the playing field and call it Club VCS. It's Club VCS, a place for people with a VCS to come and hang out and compete against each other in a friendly competition.
Awesome. Got it. Yep. Completely understand. So Missile Command is going to be the first game. Again, we're looking at the objective being a high score. So here I see your parameters, modern controller, classic controller. Now player's choice, I'm assuming if they have like an Xbox controller or PS4 controller, those are okay.
Absolutely. So whatever controllers that function on the VCS that a user has, they're free to use that as long as it works with the game.
Okay.
Hoping for that mouse support and the trackball support on the VCS version.
Now, okay, so then the squad challenge ends. So it's basically it runs all month.
Right. So we're going to run these for a month, and we hope to that this is just the first of many. We have 5 planned for now. We're going to go through all of the recharged games that have been released up through Breakout in chronological order. That wasn't necessarily the plan. We actually had a poll, and Missile Command and Recharged and Centipede Recharged tied. And all things being equal, we gave the nod. I think Mock Duck actually recommended that we do it in chronological order. So shout out to Mock Duck. And we took that under advice and launched it with Missile Command Recharge.
Awesome. Okay, so basically then scrolling through, we already kind of went through the rules. I mean, the difficulty level, default, yep, fair play. Should be on, have fun, falsified scores. Okay, yeah, that's all. This is all pretty standard issue. Let's see. So the message here, version recharged. Okay, so that's just giving a kind of an overview of what the game is. Club VCS Recharge Squad Contest. Okay, so then this is then just reiterating what you said about we're going to be playing the recharged titles, and then I also assume any up and coming recharged would then get added to the list.
Yeah, and it's not limited to recharged games. So recharged again is just a fun branding to differentiate it between the main forum squad challenge, which is a bi-weekly squad challenge, and what's going on in Club VCS. And the thing I want to mention about this contest is over the next 5 months for these first 5 recharge games, what we're going to do is anybody that participates, so whether you have the high score or not, if you just post a score, okay, you're going to get an entry into a contest to win your choice of either a modern controller or a classic controller for the VCS. And if you win the squad challenge for the month, what we're going to do is you're going to get 3 additional entries for a total of 4 possible entries for that round. And at the end of the 5 rounds, we'll do a drawing. It'll probably be on YouTube or something. Maybe it'll be on Atari Weekly Podcast.
Yeah, just let me know. That'd be fun.
And we'll announce the winner. But it's just a way to have fun. And then what we'll also do is for each individual winner of these first 5, we've got some buttons. I actually made some like recharge series buttons, kind of DIY punk, with the Club VCS. I don't know if you can see that.
Here, let me make it bigger. Okay, yeah.
And then some of the recharged icons. So you got the bomb from Centipede. You've got like the ship from Asteroid. You've got the heart from the co-op where you revive your second player. And then another asteroid, the enemy vessel. That's reflecting pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I'll post a picture in the Discord of what those look like. But that's just a fun prize, right? And this is something that we've done in the main forums. Like I won some custom 7800 paddle controllers that were made from 7800 Proline sticks, as part of one. And I just thought, I want to do something like that for Club VCS because, play it forward, right?
Right. Yep, absolutely. So that's awesome. So, okay. So yeah, so there are real world stakes here because there are actual prizes that can be won. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. All right then. So then I understand because the game saves your highest score, the last score is what will always be taken into consideration.
Right, that's correct. So you want to post the last score in the picture is going to be the score that's your highest score. Now you can post more than once, so try again, right? You only get one entry unless you're the winner, but feel free to post more than one score throughout the duration of the challenge. But like those are my scores, and you can see that 47,000. There's actually like a time power-up bug in Missile Command where it locks the time stop and slows down everything for the rest of the game until you're finally overwhelmed. And that's why I had that 47,000. I don't even consider that a real score.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so I get that. Now, I guess the only question that I have, and I kind of saw you mentioned it down below in your post, but Missile Command by design is not a game of equality because there are different power-ups that aren't had through the game, but separate that are permanent power-ups to your city or your defense. So somebody coming in brand new is going to be starting at everything at zero, where somebody like me who's a backer and I've had my VCS since January of 2021 has built up my things. I don't know how you would there's no concern for that. It's just you're gonna have to play and level up and try to beat the scores.
Right. Grinding through Missile Command Recharged, and I hesitated to even include Missile Command Recharged in this because of the grinding.
Mm-hmm.
But while that does give people that have had the game for a longer amount of time a certain advantage because they've maxed out all of their stats, at the same time, I wouldn't want anyone to erase their game and zero that out because it takes a while to get there.
Sure,
So
yeah, it does.
you are coming in at an advantage, and what I hope is that just the entry for participation and the desire to try out the game and play Missile Command, which is one of my favorite classic Atari games of all time, is worth coming in and checking it out.
Got it. One more question for you that I can think of off the top of my head now. And that is, just so everybody is clear, when we submit a picture for our scores, you want it to be like a camera picture, like what you have, no like screenshot, because you can obviously see a score on a TV and know it's not a computer screenshot. So there's a little bit more of authenticity that's being played on original hardware, taking a picture off from a TV.
That's right. It's that old school Activision patch approach, right? We're not going to count it unless it's in a Polaroid. No.
Yeah, take a Polaroid and mail it into Activision. Oh, them days. And then you put a Kaboom patch or a Pitfall patch.
Yeah, it just keeps things fair. It gives a level of integrity to the challenge.
Sure.
And I think most people appreciate just, it takes 2 seconds to take out your phone and snap a picture. If you do a stream or something, though, or a video and post that on YouTube, that's fine because we can see the whole playthrough. So people can feel free to do video captures, post the video captures, and reference their highest score.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's all the questions that I have. Is there anything that you would like to add?
No, I'm just so excited to launch Club VCS and launch this Missile Command Recharge Squad Challenge and the Squad Challenge contest. Encourage folks that have a VCS to pop over, check us out, and participate. It's going to be fun. We're going to do some fun things, and if we get the participation that we want out of this, we'll see what's in store next.
So, last question for you then. Won't keep you too much longer. If anybody has questions, what's the best way to reach you? Do they sign up under atari.io and ask the questions in under this, or is there a specific place that they would need to go to?
Yeah, so you can sign up at atari.io and shoot me an email. My username is Sabertooth at atari.io. You could also send me an email at sabertoothretro@gmail.com.
Okay, and you are also active in Atari VCS Discord, so people could reach you there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to reach out to me on the Discord channel as well.
Awesome. Well, I tell you, I'm excited. I think this is a good thing for Atari VCS in general to get some healthy competition in there, and again, people, there's real stakes here. There's prizes to be won. So I encourage everybody watching this, whether you're watching live or watching after the fact, check out atari.io and sign up, and let's get those high scores going. Sabertooth Retro, thanks for stopping by and sharing this with us all, and I hope you have a good evening.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me on. Have a good evening.